We're going to start with Joey, and then we will go to come back to Coach Izzo. If you can start with questions in the chat, we can begin. First question is from Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press.
Hi, Joey. Good to see you. It looked like tonight both you and Aaron came out and responded a little bit to some of the things Coach said. I mean, how important was it for you to make sure you got to the boards and crashed them hard?
Yeah, it's something that's important every game. Kind of our motto here is defend, rebound, and run. I haven't had a game where I've grabbed 16, I don't think, in my college career, but, just boxing out, making sure we're boxing our guys. Other guys are boxing out well. So there's a lot of rebounds a lot of missed shots are coming off. So credit to our defense and the other guys around me.
And from an offensive standpoint, I mean, a lot of those early possessions, it was you and Aaron kind of going at the basket. I mean, how much did Coach challenge you over the last 2-3 days to be the aggressors?
He told me I kind of was getting my groove the first game. So he said, just come out, pick your spots. Aaron was doing a great job just encouraging me, telling me to be aggressive right away, finding me when I was open right away, letting me attack. And then he did a great job. We ran a couple plays for him, get him hot right away. So we started off really well, got us two going right away, got a couple buckets, and it was a really good start to the game.
We'll go to Kyle Austin from M Live next.
Yeah, Joe, we're starting about 7 minutes left in that first half. You guys really kind of shut them down defensively. Wondering from your perspective, what was going well during that stretch?
Defensively, I think, rebounding, we were doing a good job of limiting them to just one shot on the offensive end. They took a lot of deep shots. I don't know what their percentage was. But I think limiting them to one shot was part of the reason we were doing such a great job defending. And then I think our guards did a great job on some of the ball screen coverages and just sticking to their man, because they had some guys that can knock down some shots, and they did a really good job defending them, running them off the line. And obviously our bigs, our 5 men, did a great job on their 5, who is a really good player. So that was huge for us defensively in the first half.
Next question is to Ryan Elke.
Hey, Joey. I just want to know, how did you feel going from game 1 against Eastern to today in your performance in each game?
Yeah, today was a much different feeling. I just felt a lot more comfortable, kind of got my feet under me. I was really anxious the first game. I'm not really picking my spot, kind of nervous about some of the spots I was in. So I think today I was kind of free flowing, letting the game come to me. And that's kind of what the change was from game 1 to game 2.
Next question is from Jana Bardell from the State News.
Hi, Joey. I'm Jana. I'm with the State News. My question is a little similar. I'm just wondering, what were your goals coming into this game compared to Wednesday, and what did you want to improve on, and what do you think you did well tonight?
Well, individually, I wanted to limit my turnovers. The first game, I had a couple of dumb turnovers that I think just kind of was getting used to finally playing for the first time in a while. So that was my first thought. I wanted to shoot the ball a little better. I didn't do that tonight, but that's going to come. Game shots are hard to simulate in practices and workouts. So I think that's something that's going to come as I keep playing. Defensively was definitely something I focused on too. I wanted to be a better defender. The first game was a little bit different. We were defending a team that had a lot of guards, a lot of guys that played in the perimeter. So I think really just defending, rebounding were the two things I focused on the most coming into this game.
We'll go back to Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press.
Kind of mentioned the term free flowing. Do you feel like that's where this offense is right now, with how well you guys are moving the ball and how much it's going side to side, north and south? I mean, it's going every direction, it seems like. I mean, do you feel like that kind of sets the tone for what you guys want to be in terms of, a high distribution, high efficiency offense?
Absolutely. We got ton of guys that can score the ball. I think that's what's going to make us dangerous is when we're moving that ball, when we're playing off each other. We got guys in every spot. They're going to score the ball. We got tons of shooters, guys that can score down low. So that's going to be kind of our mojo going through the season here. We'll have a couple of guys step up in different games, but I really think spreading out the ball. Different guys are going to score. That's kind of what you're going to see all year.
We'll go to Graham Couch from the Lansing State Journal.
Joey, you've seen Marcus Bingham now since you arrived, and last year he would often drift out on the perimeter and take three. He hasn't taken a single three in 2 games. From what you've seen from him, can you describe his change in mindset and sort of how different he is today than when you first arrived on campus?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Marcus was just trust. Our coaches have been telling him what he needs to do to improve his game, get to where he wants to go. So, I mean, we know he can shoot. We know he's been working on a shot, but I think right now we just need him to be a really good defender, a shot blocker, a rim protector. And then when he gets the ball on the block, make some moves like he did tonight. He's got that nice turnaround jumper. So for him, that's things that are going to make us better as a team. And there'll be times where he's open for a shot and he's going to knock it down. And we've seen him make that shot. So we're going to trust that he's going to make that shot as well.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us with Joey. Joey, thanks for taking the time. We'll have Coach Izzo here momentarily, and then following Coach Izzo, we'll have 1 or 2 more players.
No problem. Thank you, Max. Thank you.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, guys. We'll be back with you in a minute.
All right, we'll be joined by Coach Izzo here in a second. Coach, if you want to start with an opening statement.
Yeah, what a great day to be a Spartan. I got to watch a little bit of that football game, and I'm so proud of Mel, and our defense was unbelievable, and Rocky, nice job. And then I find out Danton and our hockey team beat Ohio State. The only thing missing today is, as I was sitting in my office towards the end of that football game before I went down, and I'm thinking, what a beautiful night. That wasn't a cloud in the sky. Great night for football. And I was thinking, boy, if they were coming from football into basketball, this place would be rocking. But in saying that, I thought we played awfully well. That's a good basketball team that I think we held pretty much defensively, other than the start and then the finish. I wasn't pleased by how we finished, but trying to play a lot of guys. I told you there's reasons for it, and that'll frustrate some people, but not me. I thought Aaron Henry was dynamite. Joey Hauser getting 12 rebounds in the first half. We got something out of Gabe Brown. We got more out of Rocket Watts, Malik Hall. And then we starting to get Julius in there a little bit, Marcus Bingham. We just had a lot of guys that played pretty well. I thought my staff did a great job on the scouting report. It's a hard team to guard with the number of 3-point shooters they have. And I thought we did. I thought we wore down their bigs a little bit because they didn't have great numbers. And that probably hurt them a little bit. But Mike Bray's a hell of a coach. They got a hell of a program. And to be up 28 or 26 or whatever we were up, and then find a way to, only win by 10, disappointing, but most of the things we did were good. We out-rebounded them. We only had 12 turnovers. Again, 26 assists on 30 baskets. That might be the storyline of this team now. That's 2 games in a row, which means we're moving the ball, we're passing the ball. And I was proud of my guys. This has not been an easy run. And now what a great way to look forward to going into Duke.
Our first question comes from Larry Lage.
Tom, wanted to talk about the defense in the first half, the block shots, the steals. It seems like your guys were all over the place against a team that usually doesn't turn over the ball that much. Just your thoughts on the first half defensively.
Well, when you have 12 blocks and 9 steals, you're right. Other than that first 5 or 6 minutes when they hit, I think 3 threes, of all things, most of them were on Joshua, who's one of my best defenders, but give them credit. We have made a couple mistakes. Again, when you're trying to play a lot of people, you got to go over a lot in a scouting report. And I thought we really bared down. I thought we were everywhere. I thought we wore them down a little bit by subbing like we did. And that was very advantageous to us. And as that's half wore on, I think we wore them down a little bit. But that is that's a well-coached team. They move the ball so well. They make good passes, make a lot of good decisions. And still, they only turned it over 10 times, but I think there were 6 or 7 of them in the first half, and that was good for us.
Our next question comes from Graham Couch.
Tom, wanted to ask you about Marcus Bingham. Through 2 games, not a single three-pointer. That was the thing last year. He used to drift off quite a bit, showing some post moves, some real, I guess, mental discipline. Can you sort of analyze what you've seen from him and like from him so far?
I give Dwayne Stevens a lot of credit on that. He's, we've talked to Marcus about it, told him he has to mature. We're not trying to take the 3-point shot away from him. He can still shoot them, but he's got to shoot the right ones. And I think he's starting to figure out what's a good shot, what's not. He's got that nice little jump hook. He's got that little fall away, shooting good from the free throw line. He's just maturing, and he's 10 pounds heavier than he was 2 months ago. So all those things are pluses for Markey, and with him and Thomas to give us a little bit, a little bit of a yin and a yang there, and I think that's good. And then Julius comes in, bring a little bit of muscle, and you're still going to see more Marty. We'll get him in there, but it's just some growing pains right now. It'll take a little bit.
Our next question is from Lindsey Huddleston.
Hi, Tom. You kind of touched on it when you talked about being up 28 points. I remember in the first half, right around the 8-minute mark, when you guys went down, there was some, bad plays with the players, but you seem unfazed. But when you're up 28, you're out, you're coaching, you're kind of totally engaged. Is that a thing? Can you kind of shed some light on the importance of coaching hard, even when you're up almost 30 points?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that my second group sometimes, because those guys got to get better. Like I said, the day's going to come, Lindsay, when we're going to have a couple guys out, and the games aren't going to stop. So, that's my MO. That's my thought process. It's going to frustrate some of our fans, might even frustrate a player or two. But I've talked to our players about it. I told them what my philosophy was and what I'm thinking. And looking at the big picture, they got to the line a lot at the end and had a couple turnovers. But at the same time, that's a good team. One that we shouldn't have been up 28. We were. I'm going to take the good of that and say, we really clamped down when we needed to. We made some great passes. I think our biggest problem was a little bit of patience. When we had patience, I think we really cut up that zone, and that was nice to see.
All right, great. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks, man.
Our next question is from Chris Delari.
Yeah, you mentioned Rocket a little bit earlier. It seemed like once he found his rhythm and shooting a little bit and then tweaked that ankle. How's he doing with that? And what did you see from him tonight in terms of both getting out and moving you guys in transition with a couple of those lobs to Gabe and then just running in the half court as well?
First of all, I think my trainer did the best job because we MRI'd that knee. I think Rock was worried about it in the back of his mind. And when he realized it was nothing but a bruise, I think that gave him a little bit of confidence. But Foster's been, again, playing pretty well. And they're kind of two different types of players. And that's going to be good for us too. But I thought Rocket, he did get in a little bit of rhythm, figuring out what a good shot, what a bad shot. We got a lot of guys got to figure that out yet. Sometimes we're forcing a little bit. If we're a little bit more patient and that ball moves, and I say that, and we got, 28 assists out of 30 baskets, it's almost ridiculous. But I think the more we can move that ball, the better team we're going to be. And Rocket's starting to learn that. He's starting to throw the lobs. He's starting to come out of there on the break. You know, he's an ever-ready bunny. He's always wants to go, 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 go. He's got to learn how to, you know, pace himself. Barry Sanders it a little bit. You can't go one speed all the time. You got to juke and jive a little bit. And I think when he does that, he's a better player.
Our next question is from Nate Atkins at the Lansing State Journal.
Hi, Tom. Just wanted to follow up on Rocket for a second. He just seemed to be in tune with Gabe Brown with a couple of those lobs you mentioned. I'm just curious if you've seen that developing in practice and kind of, you know, how those two mesh on the court in your estimation.
I really was proud of Gabe. You know, Gabe came to the huddle and said, Coach, they're playing me up the line and I think I can get a couple of lobs. And so that was kind of set up by us, set up for Rocket, but set up by Gabe. Gabe was the one that read it. And like a Morris Peterson did back in the day, really kind of proud of Gabe because he's starting to see the game a little bit better. So Rock made the play. Gabe made the call. And that's kind of what you want. You want players on the floor, but they can see things that are happening. You want them doing their job. And I thought we did it pretty well.
Next question is from Kyle Austin.
Yeah, Tom, I want to ask you a little bit more about the assist numbers and the ball movement you've seen. Does that surprise you at all, just given how much you lost in Rocket, that they've been able to kind of keep that up? And is it more of a group effort maybe this year instead of all flowing from the point guard spot?
I think you meant what we lost in Cassius, right?
No, I'm sorry. Yes, I meant Cassius.
Yeah, we lost in Cassius. And, you know, and sometimes it's giving more people a chance to make plays. And, because the ball was in his hands so much. But, you know, I really like Aaron Henry is playing some of his best basketball, you know. You know, he goes 4 for 11, but 5 for 5 from the line. That's one of the keys. We said he's got to get to the line 5-6 times. He gets 8 rebounds. He had 4 blocks. He had 3 assists. You know, he's starting to become the complete player. And I think what impressed me most about these guys and their unselfishness, when I thought Aaron had come out the first game and want to prove that, you know, he came back for a reason, he just let the game come to him. And tonight we said we were going to him early. We did go to him early, and he responded. So, you know, really, really proud of Aaron and how he's handled everything. And him and Joey kind of have a very good mix together along with Josh. And that's encouraging too. And that's why I think the unselfishness, Joey threw some great passes and against that zone down low. Yeah, I'm really, that's exciting as a coach when you in 2 games, you can have 50 some assists. That's big time.
Our next question comes from Jack Ebling.
Tom, a 26-0 run against a pretty good team. Do you remember a better stretch than that at the end of the first half, the start of the second half, and the 53 assists and 60 baskets? Can you fix the other 7?
Boy, that is unbelievable, Jack. I didn't realize we had a 26-0 run against a good team, but shows you that I was more ingrained in what we were doing right and wrong. But the end of the first half, beginning of the second half, I thought that ball moved about as well as it could be moved. And it was kind of fun to watch us play. And I don't say that very often. I thought we were into people. Aaron really got into some people defensively. Then Rock came in and did that. And, you know, I thought Josh became better. Joey Hauser did a pretty good job on the Lezeski kid. He's a good player. Only got 6 shots off. I mean, you know, I think under the circumstances, Hubs still got some shots because he's a very good player. But I'm telling you, Mike's going to win a lot of games with that team. You watch. He's got to get another player or 2 back, I think. Maybe some subs with their bigs. And they do that, and they'll be a good team. So I've never seen a stretch or 2 games, to be honest with you, Jack, like that. No, I guess I haven't. But hopefully that'll continue. We'll need that down at Duke.
Our next question comes from Audrey Dahlgren.
Hi, Tom. With Joshua in the conversations it looked like you guys had on the floor back and forth during the game. A little frustrating. I know he's still trying to get into the rhythm of stuff, but was some of that because of the defensive effort tonight, or where did most of that stem from?
Now, listen, I hold Joshua at a very high levels, defensively and offensively. I thought a couple times he passed up a couple shots. I thought a couple times, he wasn't as sharp defensively. Now, I know that that's going to take some time, but as I told him, I don't plan on giving him any slack because he lost 2 years. He wants to get that back in a year, and I want to get it back in a year. So there was all love there. I mean, he knows what I'm talking about. I know what he's talking about. But, we do got to hold people accountable. I mean, I've been under the weather for a couple of weeks, and I'm not under the weather anymore. So it's back to dog eat dog. And, we got to do our job. And if you don't do your job, you're going to hear about it. If you do your job, you're going to hear about it. I thought second half, he did a much better job. And he just had a bad little stretch there. And then I thought he passed up a couple of shots. I don't want him passing up any shots. I think he's too good a shooter. And Aaron even passed up a couple shots. But Aaron's driving the ball better. Josh is passing the ball better. I'm a pretty lucky coach right now. I got some guys that are doing a lot of good things, and I think we're going to get better. That doesn't mean we're going to win the next game or the next game, but I do think this team's going to get better as we go because there's a lot of bright spots, and defensively, I think we could be real good. Running, I think we could be really good. I still think we're a better shooting team than we've shot, but Hauser missed those 2 wide open threes. Gabe missed 2 wide open threes. I think we'll make those shots. I really do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Brendan Quinn.
Hey, Tom. Kind of building on that even a little bit with Joey. I wonder what is kind of your balance right now between getting frustrated at some moments and also realizing he hasn't played in 20 months or whatever since actual game action.
Well, the good thing is, first of all, it's nice to see you off of vacation. Nice to have you back once in a while. But, and Joey and Josh, I do got to be patient with them. But since when have I been a patient guy, And they're good enough that on some of those things, like on that backdoor play after he missed 2 threes, to me, he threw it away, And there's got to be more mental discipline than that. You can't let he had 2 great shots. He just missed them. I don't care if he misses those shots, but then don't come back and turn the ball over when he's too good to turn the ball over like that. So, but you know what I really liked tonight? I really liked that I didn't think Joey responded as well the first game. I thought he really responded well. I mean, we had a great conversation on the bench. It was fun. It was good. And the same with Josh, Hey, my job is to push those guys. It's going to take some time, but we got to speed up the process for them and for me, and I got to be patient with them, but not patient on things that are maybe effort related or mental related mistakes. How's that sound?
Fair. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right, we got 2 questions left. We'll start with Jane at the State News and wrap up with Solari.
Hi, Tom. My question's kind of similar. I'm wondering, what differences did you see in Joey's game tonight? When we talked to him before, he said he wanted to work on turnovers and defense. So what did you see from him that maybe you liked tonight compared to Wednesday?
Well, he had 1 turnover. He had 4 assists. He had 16 rebounds. I think we're going to talk to him about, in fact, if you talk to him again, would you tell him to work on his 3-point shooting because he can't miss those wide open ones. And the day Joey Hauser goes 2 for 4 from the line, I think he's one of the best free throw shooters I ever had. So that's the nice part about it, is there's still some good reason to be able to push those 2 guys. And I think they're starting to see my side and I'm starting to see their side. And that's why it's going to be fun to grow with them. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think Joey was a better player tonight than he was the first night. I think Josh was too in a lot of ways. And I see that growing. They're veteran guys that have been around a little bit. And Aaron Henry has done a great job with those 2. Aaron's in such a good place right now as a leader, and Josh is leading. And so, Foster's leading. I mean, the camaraderie of this team has gotten to be really good. And I give my whole staff credit for that, because the things we've done here in Breslin, the things we've tried to do to bring our guys here more often and spend more time, and it's been really, really good. And during this COVID season, it's not easy. So I give them all credit. But Joey, just tell them to work on that 3-point shot and those free throws, and maybe the next game we'll keep growing.
Thank you.
And our final question comes from Chris Solari.
You kind of alluded to it with Joey and with a number of guys, but with Aaron in particular. I mean, it seemed like you wanted to come out and get him a little more aggressive tonight than he was first game offensively. A little bit about that, but also when you do have a guy like him and Joey that do respond to that coaching from one game to the next, how does that make transition years like this, where you lose a Tillman and a Winston, maybe a little bit easier and ahead of schedule?
Well, they're two very good players that you know, I mean, Aaron is a very, very good player, but I mean, in Josh and Joey, they've done it before, you know, and it's just a matter of getting in the swing of this system and everything. And for Josh, it's coming off of those 2 years, you know, and God, I'm knock on wood, but you know, his foot has been great. He played a lot of minutes. He played almost 16 minutes the first half, which is probably our fault. Probably tired him out a little bit, but yeah, it's fun to coach guys that are good players and want to get coached, and they got to learn me too. You know, Joey's got to learn me, and that's why there's times that I even got on him a little bit about the missed threes. I shouldn't do that because he's the best 3-point shooter. I want to see how he's going to respond. I need to see what he's going to do now, so that when we get in the heat of the battle, you know, I figure out how I should handle him, and he figures out how I am, you know. So these are all good things that are, I think, going to make us a better team as we go. But there wasn't a lot to get on to guys about tonight as far as most of the night. I bet we played 30 really, really, really good minutes of basketball, and some of it we didn't is because the other team is damn good. And like I said, Mike Bray, you know, he's done a good job. That's as solid of a program as they can get. And the thought of being up 20 some on Notre Dame is that makes me feel good. The thought of losing the lead doesn't make me feel good, but it gives me something to work on tomorrow.
All right, Coach, that's all the questions we have for you. Thanks for your time.
Well, y'all should be happy today with all those Spartan wins, man. Football, love it. See you guys later.
I think we'll be joined here shortly by Rocket Watts.
Yeah. He was just running across the court, so it might be a minute there.
All right, at this point, we got Rocket. Hold on a second, Rocket. We'll get you some questions here. Our first question comes from Lindsay Huddleston.
Hey, Rocket, good to see you. What has the transition been like for you? You've been banged up a little bit. You got in your groove a little bit tonight. What has it been like between the last game and tonight?
Last game, you know, I didn't really tell my, my coaches about my injury for real. You know, I was just trying to push through it, and hopefully, you know, it'd get better. But the injury was just messing with me through practice and stuff like that. So, you know, I just finally told my trainer, and, you know, we got an MRI and it came back as a bruise, but, you know, it's not too much. And I feel good right now.
And I'm just curious, going forward, do you feel you have to be a little bit more forthcoming with your bruises and whatnot, or is there some pride that you deal with when you don't share?
To be honest, I'm feeling real good right now. So, you know, I'm not really worrying about that. I'm gonna keep getting treatment, you know, keep icing, and, you know, hopefully, you know, I'm gonna be fully back and healthy.
All right. We want you to be healthy, Rocket. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Our next question comes from Chris Solari.
I did want to ask you about that tonight. It looked like was that the leg again, or was it an ankle at that point when you were kind of back on defense?
It was my ankle. I kind of like rode it a little bit.
And just, I guess when that happened, I mean, you had just hit a shot down at the other end. Where were you at that point in terms of finding rhythm and just feeling kind of the game out?
I was feeling real good. I just want to give a big shout out to my teammates, for talking to me through the whole process and, just, telling me when to pass, when to take shots and, just basically keep me motivated. And yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to those guys, Josh Foster, Malik, Markey. So all those guys for being leaders and, just keep pushing me at the point and just telling me, to make the right decision. So, yeah.
Just to be clear, the ankle's fine too, though, right?
Oh yeah, my ankle good. I'm just get some ice, just keep getting treatment, and we're gonna go from there.
All right, our next question is from Graham Couch.
Hey, Rocket, I'm wondering, when you're out there pushing the ball on the break, how different does this team look than a year ago? Like when you look around at the pieces you have and what Aaron Henry, the way he's playing, Marcus Bingham, having Joey, like, can you describe exactly how different or where it's different, how it feels compared to a year ago?
I feel like we just real tough right now, and I feel like when we connected on defense, we can lock teams down, and we can push the ball hard, 1 through 5. I feel like Joey a great player. He played real good in the post. He passed the ball real well. Aaron just been real excellent on finding guys, and in the huddle just keeping everybody motivated and trying to find shots for other guys. So, I just feel like this team is real talented, and just once we get connected all the way, it's gonna be real good and exciting.
Our next question is from Kyle Austin.
Hey, Rocket, just wondering what you thought was going well for you guys defensively, especially towards the end of that first half there.
We just, coach called a timeout, and he got on us, and we just had to toughen up and play defense. Notre Dame a great team, they're a great shooting team. We just had to, basically be in the gaps and just play real tough defense, and I felt like we did that.
All right, Rocket, that's all questions we have for you today. Appreciate your time, man.
All right, appreciate y'all.
We'll have at least 1 or 2 more student athletes here shortly. We will have Marcus Bingham and Aaron Henry. I'm not sure which one we'll have up first at the podium. Meanwhile, someone keep an eye on Ebley, make sure he gets to his car okay.
Yeah.
That's your mic.
All right, we got Aaron Henry up at the podium. We'll start with a question from Graham Couch.
Hey, Aaron, wondering defensively, there's been some talk about how connected you guys feel when you're out there and you're on that run you guys were on, that 26-0 run, and really just they were getting nothing. I'm wondering what that feels like, and if you felt that at any point with any of the teams you've been a part of yet at MSU. Like, does this feel different?
I mean, different in a lot of ways because we have Josh. I feel like, just his experience out there and how much he leads, and he's been through a lot of games, a lot of stuff just as a person. And he just brings that camaraderie together all around for us. And I try to build off that as a leader now, being a junior. And credit to all the guys for being willing to listen, willing to dig deep and continue to fight on that run and just continue to play defense.
I wanted to follow up there with the question about Marcus Bingham, who seems to be a lot more disciplined in his offensive approaches and other things. Can you speak to his development and his mindset difference this year from a year ago?
He's grown a lot maturely, physically. He still has some weight to gain, but he's not as fragile, not as thin. He's more patient. He's smarter. It's my roommate, man. I'm super happy for his progress, man. And I'm always the first to tell him when he's wrong, but always the first to tell him when he's right. As a teammate, and I'm happy to see his progression. Just knowing where he's come from his freshman year and the minutes he's played and how he's developed now is something to see.
Our next question is from Lindsey Huddleston.
Yeah, good to see you. Your coach was just talking a minute ago about how he pushes players, particularly Joey Hauser, so he can know how he's going to act when it's time to, get down to the get down. What kind of advice do you give your teammates based on the experience you've had being a leader on this team? I'm not trying to go there, but I heard it in your.
No, I get you for sure. Man, y'all have all seen me and Coach get there before. It ain't much more he can do, honestly. But it's easy for me to pass that information down to AJ or Amadi or to even him now that he's playing this year. But it's even if he does get on me, I laugh about it because it's thanks, Coach. I love you to death, man. That's what it comes down to. And Joey knows how to respond. He's a mature guy. He's well taught. From home all the way in Wisconsin all the way here. He knows how to respond to those things. And 2 shots that he missed and a turnover isn't going to get him down. I won't let him get to that point either. Just because I've been there before as a player and know what Coach Izzo expects.
And really quickly, you talk about being there. Can you talk about what it was like when you first stepped foot in the Breslin as a freshman to your maturity and growth now? Is it 2 different people right now?
Absolutely. I would feel like, from a maturity standpoint, as a freshman, not knowing I was getting into, to then, last year being a little bit of both ways, still having some growing pains, still having to go through some things, to now still having to grow still, but having a better understanding and being more mature and understanding what coaches will demand from me on and off the court.
I got it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Our next question is from Kyle Austin.
Hey, Aaron, just wondering offensively, through 2 games, it seems like your ball movement and your assists are pretty much what they have been in the last couple of years. Wondering how you kind of kept that going, losing Cassius in the offseason. It's been kind of more of a group effort to keep that up.
Man, just knowing that those are big shoes to fill. He was so much of our offense. He did so much. And just to be able to try to come in and try to be a nice piece to the puzzle, pick up where someone that left off and knowing what it takes to win. Some of the things that he did, he's a winning player for sure. And being able to play off of him the last 2 years and kind of a little bit go into that role this year and more so as a leader is just, I've seen it done at the highest level. And that's something I want to try to continue, even though he's gone, or try to continue on for the next person to come after me.
Next, we'll go out to Chris Solari.
There was a lot of, you obviously stuffed a lot of different stat columns tonight, but you weren't alone. There's a lot of guys that are able to do a lot of different things. I guess I kind of want to get your feel on what this team's versatility factor is. Joey grabbing 16 boards, but then dishing the ball, you getting 4 blocks, Mark's getting 4 blocks. How much can you guys do, kind of play that all around game? And do you need a guy to be an alpha, or is it just within the construct of the system right now that everything clicks?
I just feel like, I take what the game gives us. I feel like all of us are versatile. We all can play at the highest level. Those practices we have with each other are wars. There's nothing easy. There's nothing given. Those are the things that in the places that, we try to make each other better. And in these moments, it just seems, I don't want to say easy to us, but we feel comfortable out there. We feel more connected with each other. And that's not only on offense, but on defense too. We're more in tune. We still have a lot of things to clean up on film, honestly. I mean, it looked good at points, but I feel like we have to be, consistent and not let runs happen on us if we really want to be that elite defensive team that we strive to be. But I feel like we're taking steps right now in game 2 to become that.
We have 2 more questions for Aaron, starting with Nate Atkins.
Aaron, I just want to ask you about Rocket for a second. Just curious if there's much you can tell that's different about him just from freshman year to so far this season, just the way he's seeing the court or understanding the game. Have you been able to notice any kind of patterns of growth for him yet?
Man, that's my roommate too, dog. And he's grown so much and he's matured. He's always been a steady, consistent bucket, honestly, but just seeing him make the right plays and being a dog on defense and turning into a leader, is just, like I said about Marcus, it's something to see, man. Just, I feel like I got those minutes as a freshman, that Marcus or Gabe didn't, or Foster didn't, or Rocket maybe sometimes didn't get last year. And just to see, the guys that I'm with now, just we're all out there together now. And it's like the best thing ever, just to see guys grow. I can only imagine, from coach's eye when he sees guys like that. But, as a teammate, as a brother for them, man, I'm happy for their success and they're growing all the time.
We'll go out to Deshaun Tate.
Congratulations on the win, Aaron. So it kind of seems like we've kind of seen you flying around quite a bit on the defensive end and laser focused in and penetration and even growing within yourself, I guess, from a vocal leadership standpoint. Are there any other areas of your game that you worked really hard on over the off season that you haven't really had a chance to kind of put on display in the first 2 games that you want us to look forward to seeing?
Not the physical. I mean, I feel like I could continue this type of play, and especially being a leader, but something that I strive to and it demands every day, is just being consistent, just not having spurts where I'm doing this here or doing this there, but I'm accountable every day, every second, every time, every possession, on and off the court, in the classroom. Am I doing the right things? Am I taking care of my body? Just being consistent and just being somebody that's dependable for coaching, knowing I can get guys' attention at any time and knowing that guys are going to listen to me.
All right. And our last one for Aaron comes from Brendan Quinn. Hey, Brendan, you're muted.
My bad. Sorry. Aaron, just curious when last year when Joey was going through practices and kind of doing his thing kind of behind closed doors, what was maybe your personal kind of level of curiosity of what it would look like when he translated onto the court and was actually with you guys in game action?
I almost knew what it was going to be like, honestly, with how he plays, just the unselfish guy he is. He's extremely skilled. Man, it's just he's easy to play off of. And once he gets going, man, he can grab 16 rebounds or make 16 shots. And that's something that most people can't do. And Coach Izzo's only going to push him, man. I smile from the side when Coach Izzo kind of goes at him, because I know that he's going to just be the best player that he never thought he could be, but who Coach Izzo imagines him to be. And that's probably something that, is unimaginable for most. But, for him, dog, the ceiling is non-existent for him. Inexistent, if that's the word, I think. Non-existent, that's the word. Yeah, non-existent.
We'll go with that. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Aaron, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and we'll have Marcus Bingham here in a second. That'll be the last one here this. All right, joined by Marcus Bingham. We'll take some questions now. First one goes to Graham Couch.
Marcus, for a couple of years, you seemed like you would rather be Kevin Durant than a big man and drift out a little bit more on the perimeter. It seems like you've taken a very disciplined approach to being on the post, developing those skills. I'm wondering when that finally got through to you that was your path to help this team, and if you'd still prefer to be shooting 3-pointers.
I mean, I'm pretty much just trying to be patient with myself, and I know what I can do. And I mean, the 3-point shot is still there, but just being more smart about my shot selection is a key to me growing up. So I'll say that really helped.
The post skill, I mean, the post moves you've shown, those are two. The post hook you didn't do a lot before this year, and also that fadeaway jumper. Were those things you specifically worked on in this offseason?
Yeah. I mean, I try to work on every aspect of my game, but just learning more post moves and like using my jump hook and using my turnaround jump shot was pretty good. I mean, playing in the summer. So, I mean, I'm just trying to keep building on it.
All right, our next question comes from Chris Solari.
Coach has talked a lot about the added weight that you've had. First of all, how did you put on 10 pounds in the last month or two? And then are you noticing a difference when you're on the block and making moves? I mean, are you noticing a physical difference between that and the added strength this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I try to get better. I mean, get stronger in my lower body this summer. I mean, and the stuff that we could do, but I mean, I feel like it's really helping me because like just me being lower, is having more power. It's really helping me like with the defender and just knowing where they're at and then just making moves off that.
It's kind of a follow aside. The ball movement in the interior. We saw the pass you had to Joey the other night. Joey had a couple passes tonight. Where's the big to big passing right now, and how much does that help the rest of the flow of the offense?
I mean, just with me and all the other bigs, just being patient and then seeing the defense and then just making the right play. I mean, our coaches really harp on that, just being smart and not trying to turn the ball over. So just being really selective on what we do is kind of helping and it's showing off.
Are there any other questions for Marky? We'll go back to Chris Solari.
You obviously, we know you guys are supposed to head to Duke next week. Where do you feel you guys are at in terms of just the whole ball sharing aspect and how that kind of has brought, I mean, is that where you guys want to be as an offense right now? I mean, are you kind of at that point to go to Duke and put this on display?
I mean, we're not settling for anything. I mean, we can get better at everything every day, and just watching film and learning from what we did today is going to help when we play against Duke. I mean, we're going to go in and watch film and just pick out the little things that we need to work on. So, I mean, we're just going to go from there. We're starting tomorrow.
All right, we got time for one or two more if there are. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and call it an evening. Marky, I'm not seeing anything else. I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, guys, that's it for this evening. Appreciate it. It's been a long day, I know, for everybody, but thanks for hanging with us.
Okay.
Thanks, Matt.
See ya.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.